Not all of the books that I read do I like. Why is this still in print? Here we go, Ayn Rand's We the Living. It was first published in 1936 and was subsequently reprinted several times over the years. But I know she has huge following of readers and people love her. I can sort of see it. I can empathize. But this book? Nah. So let's get into it. Synopsis. The story takes place in 1920s Russia. It's after the revolution. They're still dealing with the fallout of the revolution, and now they're on hard times. And this story focuses on one of those families and one of the daughters of one of those families. This young woman, Kira, and her family moved back to Petrograd because they were in exile after the revolution. And the father, Kira's father, was a textile factory owner, but when they come back, his factory has been nationalized by the communists, and their house has been taken over by several other families, so they have to start over. In 1920s Russia, Soviet Union, there is the reality of you have to be like licensed to work, I guess. So Kira, the young lady, the protagonist of our story, gets a workbook. She goes to work. She goes to university to study engineering. She wants to be an engineer. And while she's there, she meets this guy, Andrei. And Andrei also is, he's a communist, staunch communist. He's passionate about engineering as well. And he's with the Soviet secret police. And they have definitely different contrasting views, but they do appreciate each other. They like each other. At the same time, Kira also meets Leo. Leo, it's love at first sight, and she throws herself out of. Leo thinks she's a prostitute. They realize that they both have shared passions and views, and they decide they're gonna flee. They're gonna leave the country, but they get caught. They are released because one of the officers was a friend of Kira's dad, and then Leo gets tuberculosis, and Kira is trying to help Leo and get him treatment and get him cured, and then she realizes that she is talking to Andrei and she's becoming friends with him, very, very close friends. And Andrei, the communist secret police guy, falls in love with Kira, and he expresses his love for Kira. She doesn't feel the same way exactly, but she pretends to, so that she can get money from Andrei to pay for Leo's treatment. The Leo comes back. He's a different guy. He's got a whole different set of views on the world. He opens up a store as a front for black market. Andrei, he's a cop, secret police cop. He investigates Leo, finds out that Kira is actually living with Leo, and Andrei basically, he is totally disillusioned. He's crushed. He releases Leo from jail and commits suicide. Leo goes off to be a gigolo. Kira decides she's going to leave the country, and she's shot at the border and dies in the snow. Yes, I just told you the whole thing. Now, let's go on to my thoughts. The most aggravating thing about this whole book is not the story itself, more or less, but the fact that Ayn Rand actually has talent, or she had. She's dead now, but she was talented. She could write a story, and there were scenes in this book that I wanted to get lost in. I was just right there, and her narrative flow was moving, and then suddenly the heavy hand of allegory comes in. She got in her own way of a good story. And in the end, the story turns into what you could call a Bodice Ripper. There's horrible dialogue. And the other thing is, Kira is not a sympathetic hero. She's not sympathetic. I found her to be spoiled, self-indulgent, and she just was unlovable. She needed antidepressants and psychotherapy. Did not like her. The novel, which started off as a literary work, right? It was a story about a family that had lived comfortably under Tsarist Russia, now in Soviet Russia. That's what it started off as. Then it devolves. Completely devolves into this three-way romance. I've seen better writing in graphic novels. And I was actually really relieved that Kira was shot dead in the snow at the Finnish border. The finish line. My God! Anytime an author can elicit such a strong emotional reaction from me, that's the author's #1 job. Rand definitely got a strong reaction out. Now, I am not going to tell you to, but if you're curious about what this book is, it's still being published. It's still being reprinted. Oh, God. But at least it's not Robert B. Parker. Definitely an improvement over Robert B. Parker. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you making it all this way. If you liked it, press like. If you disliked it, give me a thumbs down too. Leave me a comment. If you want to follow along too, see more of reviews, subscribe. See you next time.